Hi everybody. A little glitch with the technology. Anyway, it's Sandy here. And it's time for the full moon rose reading. It's the 23rd of October today. It's the full moon tomorrow. These closing days of October are intense and certainly feeling to take us into another contraction and squeeze and open point. These are really powerful times. We're being really called to account and to make big decisions. A lot of us are making really big decisions about what we're going to be doing for the next phases. Hi Mariah, hello. For the next phases of our journey and our movement as we close out this incredible year of 2018. I mean, this has been a powerful year of alchemy for many of us on lots and lots of different levels. So this path about finding our way forward is always significant when we come through into these full and new moon pulse points. They're trigger points that bring, hi Jonathan, hello, nice to see you. So yeah, they're trigger points that offer us the inspiration or the guidance for another level of our journey. And gosh, and some of them are really intense. This one is a really intense full moon. Full moons, as you know, the moon and the sun are opposite one another. And so we have this full moon in Taurus, 1 degree of Taurus. So the moon is in Taurus and the sun has just entered Scorpio. So we've got this dynamic between Scorpio and Taurus, but added to the mix, Venus, which is in retrograde motion at the moment. So we spoke of this in the last rose reading around this place of the energy feeling like it's going into the underworld. You know, this feeling of the Venusian imprint. And for us as women, this is very much connected to the heart. She's gone into the underworld. She's gone into the darkness. And so it's so interesting that she is conjunct the sun at 1 degree of Scorpio, and we have Uranus also retrograde as a planet conjunct the moon. And not only that, but they are squaring the transiting axis of the north and south nodes of the moon. So we have a square that's running in the chart, which is adding to this sense of tension, this sense that there is something building here. There is, and we know that when we are building to the zenith of the exactitude of any of these planetary dynamics, it is when the energies are beginning to build that the most intensity is felt. So it's a bit like going into a pressure cooker. And that once we meet exactitude, which tomorrow evening, oh, thank you for all the hearts and bits. Once we get to exactitude of the moon, which will be at 7 o'clock UK time tomorrow evening, or thereabouts. You know, it's about 5 o'clock. Sorry, it's about 5 o'clock. I've got a webinar. I've got a live webinar at 7, and I was just very relieved that the actual webinar was going to start after the exactitude of the full moon. So, you know, we're building to this. So the planets in their wisdom are beginning to sort of create pressure. They're beginning to say, you know, have you got it? Have you got the message that we are giving you through this particular lunation, this particular full moon? And it really feels to me that there is a big question that comes up with this full moon. It's like, who are you? and who am I? There is a big place here of recalibration, of coming into this understanding of the enormitude of this year, what this year has meant for us as creating change, and how we have responded or reacted to that, and whether we are willing to ride the wave, whether we're willing to harness the changes that we've been shown as being an important part of our soul's growth, our soul's evolutionary pathway. And so this question of, what lights me up? What is it now that is calling me forward? And it's like getting beyond that place of self-deception. It's like the place where we need to get really real. Saturn is in the mix here as well. Saturn is calling us to have the solid foundations, is calling us to be very real about what it is that we're wanting to create from here on in. So this moon feels very significant. Full moons, are a culmination. And from that place, we can release and let go of what's been built, what's been brought into form in order to let it go. Ultimately, it feels to me that this opens a doorway to greater freedom, to a place of simplifying our lives, and a commitment to what we're wanting to experience, what we're wanting to bring forward in our lives in a deeper way than probably we've ever known before. And also, of course, this is a commitment to self. This is a place in which we finally start to take those steps to come home to who we really are. Not the illusion, not the picture that others might have of us, but actually the truth of who we are. And it's interesting, several of you know I'm moving in the next few weeks, and actually this evening I've had the boxes delivered that I'm going to be packing over the next week to move house. And the question for me is, what needs to come with me? What is still aligned? And does that item, does that piece still bring me joy? And I feel that that's a question that probably we're all asking at some level, not necessarily to do with physical items, but actually things that we've invested our energy in, things that we've connected ourselves with, people and pathways that we've had alignment with up until now. Is that still true? Is there still an alignment for this connection? Is there still an alignment for this path of discovery and this path of journey? There is a real calling, as I sense it, as we move into these final months of the year, to get clearer and clearer of what it is that we connect with and what we align with. What we move forward through this full moon with will have a flavour of the whole of the journey through 2019 to the Pluto-Saturn conjunction, which is in January of 2020. These are pivotal points at which we make choice as to what we are, what the truth of our pathway is moving forward. And it feels really potent. I don't know whether you're all feeling this as well, but there is this calling to this deeper alignment within, this deeper truth within, that is so significant for us in our next choices, in our next pieces. I have been focusing on creating a new website. It won't be live until about the 7th of November, so it'll be about live on that next new moon. And it's been so fascinating doing this reflection of what it is that I'm wishing to share at this point. There is a real sense for me that this time is a closing and a rebirth. So what is the voice that is going to be carried on the wave of a new website? You know, our websites are our shop window. They are our place of connection for people to engage with what we have to offer, the tools or the gifts in our tool bags of life, and what it is that we bring as our treasures to share. So this is such a significant point in our evolutionary pathway, and that evolutionary pathway is that pathway home to self. There is nowhere else to go. It's an inside job. It's an inside path. So this is, I feel, a really significant reading. So shall we see what wisdom the roses have got to share with us for this next phase of our journey? So, I've just seen several people have joined the feed. I need glasses to see because I'm on a tiny iPhone. So hi Rachel, hi Jess. I think Mariah's there, Jonathan's there, Emily's there. So I know there are several of you on the line. So thank you for joining. You're really so appreciated. So are you drawn to rose card 1? Are you drawn to rose card 2? Or are you drawn to rose card 3? And as we know, you may be drawn to one of these energies, but actually all three of them weave some magic that gives us a flavour of what this next piece of the journey may have for us. So if you were drawn to rose card 1, she is the stellar gateway. Now she's one of the cosmic roses, and some of you have engaged with the cosmic roses. They are available on my website. They are a group of roses that are beyond the Rose Oracle deck, but they expand an envelope of light around the 45 roses in the Oracle. The 45 roses work on an alignment that allow us to be acupuncture points of light to bring heaven on earth. The stellar gateway, the stellar gateway, the soul star above our heads and below our feet is the earth star and the Gaia gateway. And these were the ones that came together beyond the original set. The stellar gateway is the portal of entry that takes us into the realm of Akasha, that place where all is known. And she is absolutely stunning. Now, this rose came to me courtesy of Mr. Waitrose. She came in a bunch of roses, and she is the only rose in the entire deck that wasn't one that I photographed in a garden. And she just called me. She kept calling me, and I ignored, because it's like, oh no, I only take pictures of roses in rose gardens. And she said, no, really, I come to share something special. So this rose came as the Stellar Gateway rose, and she connects in through the soul star down into the pineal gland. And you know, for those of you that have an understanding of the temple work or the mystery school work, that work was to bring the energy down to the base second chakra, into the kundalini energy in the sacrum, and to spin the double DNA up through the body, the kundalini force, the Ida and the Pingala energies up through the body to the heart, and then up to the pineal gland. And the pineal gland for me is an interdimensional rose gate. It's an interdimensional connector. It's a very crystalline energy. And this rose, the more we are activated inside, the more we are clear, the clearer the connection through the Antakarana, through the rainbow bridge, up through to the soul star, which holds the personal soul imprint for this lifetime, and through that up to the stellar gateway. Now, when we are perfectly aligned, everything that we could want to know, we can have access through, up through the pineal soul star and into the stellar gateway. This is the portal where all is known. And this is a great resource. So the fact that she's come forward in the reading, for me, says that this particular full moon is a cosmic gateway. It's a place where we have the opportunity of opening up to higher levels of knowledge, higher levels of connectivity within our own energetics, our own field, that will enable us to have an even greater sense of our purpose and what we've come here to be vehicles for. When this level of energy starts to come down through the body, it's absolutely essential that we ground. Really important that we spend time every day being able to have some connection to nature. You know, and if that connection to nature only happens to be, and I say only very lightly, a beautiful bunch of roses, connecting into the sacred geometry of the life force and the reminder of the beauty and the golden heart of the rose is absolutely essential. Better still that you get chance to commune with the trees. The tree energies are really coming very, very strongly, certainly in my field right now. Might be something to do with the fact that I'm moving into the forest, but you know, there is something about the tree beings and their connectedness through their root system, their communication with one another through the root system all around Gaia, all around Mother Earth. And this is an amazing way shower for us in being able to ground and root our own energy. Really powerful. And this is the work. You know, the work is to bring heaven on earth. It's to bring this light down through the body. So we have to clear the heart trauma. We have to clear the stories that we've got running in order for this energy to be able to work its way down through the body and for us to be carrier-waves of light. One of the things on my new website, one of the keynotes on the new website is some words by the Master Dwal Kul from the Alice Bailey books and her treatise on white magic. And it is, you know, I build a lighted house, therein I dwell. And this for me is the essence of the work that we can hold at this time. So if you were drawn to Rose Card 1, she is calling you to look up and to really be consciously aware of your connection to source energy, to the divine, to the guidance that can come in through the through this stellar gateway and the soul star to open to be that channel of light. Is there anything else that I'd no, other than the fact that be aware that when there is an activation on the pineal gland, which actually this rose opens to connect with, that you might find that you get sleep disturbances, or a real sense of a light within the center of the head. This is what the mystics would call the blue pearl. This is an activation point. The pineal gland sits in the middle of the head. If you look from ear tip to ear tip and from front to back of the head, at that intersection is the pineal gland. And, you know, there was a lot that was said about the fact that, you know, the fluoridation in the water calcifies the pineal gland. And this is why those of us that are walking this path of light, this path of alignment, do whatever we can to create the opportunities to drink very pure, highly energized water that can help us with that process of alignment. So there she is. She's Rose Card 1 and she is the Stellar Gateway. If you were drawn to Rose Card 2, she is Master Rose 1. Now Master Rose 1 is the divine masculine. Beyond the original the original 11 roses in the Rose 1 set, I then got guided to go to Rosslyn Chapel in Scotland, where I was to work with the weave of the masculine and feminine streams of energy in Rosslyn Chapel to locate the sweet spot, which is where the golden flame alights. This rose is the divine masculine, and it has a very angelic quality to it, this particular rose. But for me, she in her voice for now is talking about the higher aspects of the sacred masculine. And this is beyond the patriarchy. This is beyond the journey that we have been on with a very unhealed masculine driver to our experience, our life experience. This is calling for the healing of the divine masculine, and that starts within us. This is a place for each and every one of us where the weave of the masculine feminine balance within us is what's being called for. And this rose is calling for an alignment with the true frequency of the healed, highly aligned masculine energy. And this is the carrier wave now that we are going to need. The masculine energy is a very doing, active, out there energy. The feminine, very much more of a receptive being energy. So within us, you know, we can have the most amazing insights, downloads and ideas, but unless we've got a force within us that is aligned and in its true power, we can't take this stuff out there. And this is the time when we have to make the dreams real. We have to make the activation to be, you know, to actually take this knowledge and these insights out into the world and weave them into the truth of the work that we have to offer. First, there has to be a balance of these energies within our own inner work. This is the inner work of weaving the being and the doing, the masculine, feminine qualities of self, so that when we get the inspiration, we have the inspiration and the activation. It doesn't remain just as inspiration. When we're looking at this first rose and her connection to the pineal gland, this is the center of higher will. We have to drop the energy down through the heart into the solar plexus for the center of personal will to be fully activated to take the vision out there in the world. And that requires us to be grounded and embody and have a very good first and second chakra activated and in place. The first and second chakra hold that place of the template of self-love, self-value and self-esteem, and that has to nestle within the tribal energy, the that which we have come in with. So this is powerful work. Jonathan, you've written something and I can't yes Jonathan said he loves the energy of this rose, and it is a beautiful energy to work with. So, and if you were drawn to rose card 3, she is rose 5. Rose 5 is one of the original 11 roses that came through 8 years ago at the Alhambra in Granada, Spain. This rose she sits on the throat chakra, and she is all about discernment. She is about being really clear about what it is you have to say. Very refined and defined rose, this, with a golden area around the back of the petals and almost a magenta tips to the edge of the rose. She's a real beauty, but she is very clear about what it is that is being shared. You know, my pranic healing master said, you know, what comes out of the mouth is more important than what goes in it. This is about really, you know, when we come into the solar plexus and we're into this place of this is where our trust, our gut wisdom comes from, and that moves up into the heart field, and that moves up to be shared through the throat. So this is very much about clarity and truth and being able to share our wisdom from that place of knowingness. Now, the throat is the higher octave of the sacral chakra. So this place of the sacral chakra is what Jung would call the individuation. If the base chakra is the tribal imprint, here I am, I've arrived. When we move up into the sacral, this is what Jung would call the individuation. And so many of us have a journey for a lot of our lives to break free of the conditioning of the tribe. You know, I know for many of those that have been on the rose journey, the brothers and sisters of the rose often came in as the black sheep of the family, or the one that didn't fit in, or the one that was just a bit odd, you know. And this is the place of where, into that sacral chakra, really being able to trust and be awesomely okay with the fact that we didn't quite fit. It wasn't quite an easy fit. And I know I've got nobody, there's nobody in my family, and my father was one of 10 and my mother was one of 4. There is nobody in my family that speaks my language. There is no... And so to actually step forward in that and own it is what I have come to understood is the path of the Magdalene, or it is the path of the rose brothers and sisters, that we have had to be courageous and be able to steadfastly find that place of where we belong, and to find the tribe, those within the our circle that speak our language. So there we go. There's our 3 roses for this particular reading. The Stellar Gateway, knowing that we're actually through this portal of the full moon, we are opening out to another level of the alignment that we have come to hold, and as dispensation for others. You know, this energy needs to come in and be then shared in the world, but it needs, those of us that are holding the coding to hold these high frequency energies are here as conduits. We're just pieces of pipe that we've had to clean to bring this energy through to share. So, Stellar Gateway, Master Rose 1, the Divine Masculine energy. And we so need this now. We so need those that are going to come forward that hold the truth of the healthy and healed, or healing, masculine frequency on the planet. And here, they're the change makers. This is, you know, so, and here we go with the Rose 5, this purification and this alignment on the throat that allows us the courage, actually, to speak our truth. Now, as ever, those 3 roses, you can work with individually, or you could go into a meditation with these 3 roses to see if they have personal wisdom for you. But you can also use them by putting a glass of water on the rose, so that what you end up with is a water that has been energetically charged on the frequency of the roses. So what else do I have to share? Yes, the new website is on its way. I have a webinar tomorrow evening at 7:30 UK time. You will need to email me or message me to sign up, because I didn't get my technology together and get the sign up button organized on the website. I will for the next one, I promise. But so yes, if you would like to join, it's a free webinar, and we're going to be talking about the roses, the way of the rose and the path of light. And it's an introduction to a Rose Circle online that I am going to be holding once a month. It's a subscription membership circle that will have interviews with other Rose brothers and sisters to share, and offers on readings, and just a really beautiful sharing. And what else have I got to offer? Oh yes, there's still an offer on until the end of the month, a super duper price on the recordings of the online Rose classes. It's about 24 videos, if I remember rightly, over the 5 classes, and it really will allow you to learn more about each of these roses in turn. Every rose in the deck is spoken of, and as I say, the 4 cosmic roses are available as an extra at the moment on the website. And what else? Next time I will be in a different venue. I am keeping everything crossed that British Telecom delivers the broadband, but until then I thought we might close with the with the Alchemy bowls. I've got both bowls this evening, and this is a charcoal and smoky quartz bowl. And the other one is a violet aura gold bowl. And I'm just going to play them both for you. The violet bowl has got the rose frequencies in it, so just allow yourself to receive the energies. So, thank you so much for joining me, and may you ride the intensity of these energies as we go through the this portal of the full moon. I know it's an intense time. So many are really having to stay very present and grounded to allow these energies to move through us and to move what needs to be moved and to bring us into an ever deeper connection with ourselves. So I am so grateful that you joined me, and yeah, till next, with much love and rosy blessings. Bye for now. Bye-bye.